Hi guys, I want to talk about some things that are just a little bit concrete in terms of being successful. And I always bring it back to being organized and having everything you need to create the environment for success. So it always makes me laugh when I hear somebody say, "Well, I'm a vision guy. Those are my strengths. That's what I do. I'm the pioneer." To me, that's always probably somebody who's never going to succeed at a lot, because we can all have great ideas, and we often do, but those people typically get beat by a get shit done guy. So if I had to have one or the other, I would rather rest on my ability to work than to just create new things. It takes a lot of discipline to sit back and be organized and work toward, even if you only had one vision in your life, one good idea, make it happen. And that might be my first process point, is for you to sit back and say, if I could just do one thing in my life, whether it's personally or in my career, what would it be? Then how do we make that happen? So I will tell you that I tend to maybe be the other person, somebody who just can work, and then maybe realize I've been working toward the wrong thing. So I've really found over my life and my career that I have to have those two things aligned. What are my big visions, big goals, and then what am I going to do to make it happen? And I've always struggled, I guess, with having too much happening. Just a lot of ideas, a lot of things going on, a lot of activity. And part of that's of my own creation. I tend to start a lot of things. But how to keep them organized and put the right amount of time here and then there. I've done things like purchasing software to help me stay organized, and things like this, creating this binder where I have it organized by a million different tabs on immediate action items and long-term action items. And one thing that you might be able to see from the camera is this binder's kind of dusty, because when you have all of that stuff, it just doesn't get looked at. It's closed away. It's too much to look at. It's off your desk. So I've thought, okay, I've got to have something that's visible. So I've gotten 6 and 8 foot whiteboards and cut them all up into columns with all of my things. And then again, I have to have that thing in front of me, which is good, but you can almost put too much on that. So I've kept whittling it down to the things that help me stay driven and active toward those larger goals. Something like this, which is a weekly calendar that I create to put on an easel in front of my desk. So it's always visible, has big goals kind of around the periphery, so I can always look at that. But then the week is scheduled. I do block scheduling. So these days, these parts of the day, I do these things. So I can keep all of my administrative type things organized and finished. They're never gonna fall behind. They're getting completed. But you'll see I also have time scheduled for the bigger projects, whether I'm writing, creating content, something like that. So that's kind of a guideline that keeps me going, but I still found that can be a little too esoteric. It sits there, it's kind of the goal, the guideline, but I still need something that prompts me just to get things done. So I really have gone all the way back down to something as sophisticated as just a daily reminder sheet, a task list. And the reason I even thought to do this video this morning is because I pulled this out just to make sure that I wrote down what I'm going to do today. And some of the weekly chores or things that I have to get done go on that daily list. This is what I'm going to work on today. But if I have something like that, it allows me to be in the moments. I review, I'm rewriting, I'm keeping those things in my mind. And when they're checked off the list, they're checked off the list. They're done. Some of the bigger things that I just got started on might go on the next day's list or the next week's list, and that's okay. Again, that's me writing it down, keeping it fresh in front of my mind. So just a little bit of a summary. I think you do have to have those big goals, those grand visions, and make them that big. What are your 5-year goals, your 10-year goals? I've talked a lot about this in some of my tribal videos. You've got to have those so that you have that trajectory way out in the distance to be working for. But you might know yourself well enough to say, man, I can only do one big thing at a time, and I'm going to spend this much time, and I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to write that book in 3 months or 1 year. I'm going to create this long-term career goal. And then what do I have to do to get there? Maybe it's going to school, taking classes, or something like that. But I really come all the way down to what am I going to do today to make that happen. And then do I have everything in my life that is that meaningful written down somewhere so I can see that and align those two things, align my vision and align my work. So hope that helps, guys. We'll catch you another time.